everybody, hello. Happy Tuesday to you all. Hi, y'all. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We doing good. It's good. It's good. Oh. Oh, where did we go? Hello? That was weird. Are we back? Okay, that was strange. Did you all know that there is a type of dinosaur known as a titanosaur? Did you all know? Did you all know? Titanosaur? Yeah, okay. So, they've recently discovered so titanosaurs are gigantic, large dinosaurs that are usually long-necked, like, they just huge, like, you know, long necks, the way we think of long necks from Land Before Time. Like, those are considered titanosaur, and they're considered to have existed, like, before, like, so, like, 120 million years is sort of the oldest. But, surprise, there's an even older dinosaur that they've discovered. Oh, Heartbreaker Wives, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for the follow. So they're the Ninja Titanosaur, and I am not making this up. I know it sounds like I am literally an 11-year-old boy excitedly talking about dinosaurs, and it sounds like I am just making this shit up. But it is it's called a Ninja Titanosaur. Like, who gave the 12-year-old naming rights for these scientific discoveries? Okay, you guys. I just found these big bones in my backyard. It's so big. They're bigger than any of the other dinosaurs that we've ever seen before. We're gonna call it a Ninja Titanosaur. They're the best. They're so cool. Ninja Titanosaurs. It's true. People my age are scientists. Oh man, that just totally made me that weirded me out, and that's a very true thing. I have friends who are scientists. So yeah, they did let 12-year-olds name. Because, you know, yeah, so anyways, they discovered a Ninja Titanosaur in Argentina that dates back to 140 million years old. 140 million years old. Isn't that wild? So these are 20 million. So the new Titanosaur bones, the new Ninja Titanosaur bones, that's scientific, you can look that up. The new Ninja Titanosaur bones are 20 million years older than any previous discovered Titanosaur bones ever in the world. Not just in, like, you know, the main area, just like in general. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like a double old, not a full triple old, because yeah, that's like, it's pretty old. But yeah, so Ninja Titanosaurs, they're pretty rad. Apparently they're the new OG dinos. I mean, I feel like I do giggle every time anyone really says bones. That's why you call them fossils. Because, I mean, they know all the paleontologists are actually just 12-year-olds as well. So they're like, no, fossils. Because at least it's like a completely different word. So yeah. Just so everyone knows, my note that I wrote down for the Titanosaur is the definition that I wrote down for Titanosaur was long-necked, plant-eating Big O Dino. Just so that's how my brain works. Did y'all watch that interview on Oprah? That was a lot of tea. That was some wild Oprah tea. I don't know if anyone else is feeling it, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I've combed through choice bits while reading that Oprah tea. But that Oprah royal tea was just exquisite, was it not? Horrifying, obviously, like horrifying, truly horrifying. I don't know. I have been loving the memes that have been coming out from the Oprah interview. my absolute favorite one so far is the one. It's like the two frame. It's one up top where it's Harry and Meghan, and they're like. And we've done it. We've trapped Oprah. Oprah, you're trapped inside of a glass box, and then the bottom frame is Oprah just like and she's like doing like a hold up, but it also looks like she's like miming inside of a glass box. Oh, I don't know if y'all have seen that one, but we might have to find it. Oh yeah, Forever Fire. The Royal PR team is currently trying to put out pretty much all of the fires. On top of the fact that, like, my favorite moment is that awkward moment right before Harry, where they're talking about the conversation that a member of the royal family had with Harry and, I believe, Meghan, about the quote-unquote darkness or skin tone of Archie, the potential skin tone of and just the way that Harry pauses and be like, this would be very damaging for them, and so I'm not going to say anything. And you're just like, oh, it's one of those things where I'm like, Harry, you're a armed services veteran, and you're gruff and you're champion, but you're also like, it was a really excellent sort of royal, like, well, this would totally fuck them up, so I'm just going to hold this card close to my chest, because they know exactly who they are, and this is now happening on worldwide television, and it's going to probably follow them to their grave. So, I don't know. It's so. I'm excited for them because I can only imagine it allows them a bit of breath around a lot of things that they haven't been able to talk about or things like that. And also, I think that it's purely. I mean, it's about time we unpacked some of the things that, imperialism and colonialism still uphold. Even just having a monarchy in general. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot to do. There's a lot in that. Yeah, there's most of the British Museum shouldn't be in England. Let's not lie. So, I'm just worlds happy for Meghan and Harry. Like, I think, I think there's a certain awfulness about the way British media treated them and her, and just sort of the whole air around it was always so, I don't know, just so poisonous. In that, when he was saying, when he was saying that William and Charles were trapped Like, and it's, I mean, it's kind of true. Like, I think it's so obvious. Oh my gosh, Piers Morgan. Oh my God, Piers Morgan. Oh God. I mean, yeah, I mean, Piers Morgan getting his comeuppance is the most delicious thing. But I also think that it's that thing of like, I was looking earlier, and there's on Twitter somewhere, I think there's a compiled list of just tweets that Piers Morgan made about Meghan Markle, and it's so long. It's like uncomfortably long, where you're just like, dude, just wow, she is occupying space in your brain rent free for the rest of her life, like, and the rest of your life, you know, like, it's just that thing of like, you were obsessed in a way that is very unhealthy and not cool, and now everyone can see it, I guess, which is great. But like, oh, total yikes, like absolute, yeah. So it's just kind of refreshing to see that sort of comeuppance come around. But also, you know, I hope that in the larger context, the idea of, you know, British media having to take a long, hard look at itself. I think there's, you know, but that's me. I just think that a lot of these institutions deserve long, hard looks at themselves, you know, and hopefully they will be able to bring about change. Hopefully, we'll see. It's just Oprah. The first part of the interview is just Oprah and Meghan, and I just think that that's a really lovely, I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, oh, I'm glad he's not here. Like when I was watching it, I was like, I'm glad he's not here. This is nice. Like, is that weird? I don't know why I don't know why I was just like, huh, that's interesting that they did that. But I also, okay, here's another interesting thing that I saw, that Tyler Perry, of all people, essentially extended and offered Meghan and Harry his security team after the royals said that they weren't going to protect him or Archie, which is really kind of wild. And Oprah was extended her, you know, basically was like, hey, let's have a chat. I thought it was great that they made it really clear, like, they're not receiving any money for anything, you know, like, it's like they're there voluntarily, like, all of the stuff that I think, you know, it seems kind of over the top to, like, say it, to have to, like, you know, like, to have to preface that, but just the idea where they're like, where they were like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I also just feel like immediately, it's also, I know that it's immediately because if they had done any sort of interview and not said something like that, they would have immediately been like, she's being paid millions of dollars to lie, you know, or like, so just, I don't know. I think it just makes the whole thing sad, really. I think that's really the core of it. But yeah, they completely left him without any protection, which is pretty hilarious. But yeah, so, you know, Oprah gave him a platform. Tyler Perry, Ms. Medea, extended protection, which is just such a, like, all right, well, I guess if British royalty isn't going to take care of him, at least black royalty is going to take care of him. Yeah, it's kind of wild just to think that, you know, the royal family is so, I don't know, butthurt or annoyed or what have you, that they're like, oh, one of the, you know, children that is in line or could be, you know, is in direct succession or has a you know, is literally tied to this throne. You know, everyone else gets protection except for the ones that went to America, the country that has guns. Like, the ones that are in the dangerous country get no protection. because they're not, because they were ungrateful, because they were bad naughty children. Yeah, it just all feels, I don't know, it just all feels like a mess. Okay, let's move on to the awards shows, awards ceremonies, awards, all the things that happened. The Grammys happened. I didn't really care about them. Sorry. I wished that Jacob Collier would have won Album of the Year. I think he's absolutely fucking brilliant. Jess Volume 3, if you haven't heard it, you should probably listen to it because it's a really, really incredible album. Please do. I don't know. He's an incredible musician. I think one of his recent songs that came out during pandemic is a composition called Sun Is In Your Eyes. By Jacob Collier. There's two versions. One of them is like a voice note version that he did on guitar, and then the other is a piano version that he does. But they're incredible. Like he's an incredible musician and artist, and I think that, I don't know, he's like so young and has like multiple Grammys already, and like it makes like crazy music. So yeah. They've always been problematic, the Grammys in general. So you know, it's not really a surprise that they're just sort of like majorly yawn. But yeah, there were good shows. I heard that there were some good performances, which is pretty great. So you know, I feel like the performance, you know, at least some of the performances were nice. I didn't really watch it. I didn't watch it live. I've just watched some performances on YouTube and stuff because I just couldn't be bothered, you know? Like, couldn't be bothered. Anyways, big, great news. The Oscars are not so white this year. Super exciting. Super great. I think it's something like 8 out of 20 of the primary categories there are people of color in or something like that, which is way more than there ever have been. Also history making. We have 2 Asians, one Asian American and one British Asian Muslim men up for Best Actor, which it blows my mind and is wonderful and is the most incredible, you know, hooray bit of news, on top of Miss Chloe Zhao being nominated for Best Director for Nomadland, which is awesome. So, you know, as far as Asian representation, it's kind of, yeah, it's and that's the thing, like, it's very exciting. I'm celebrating it because these are achievements. However, this is, how do I say, this game is rigged, and now that it's sort of become a year of optics and I don't know, realizing that there are consequences because of behavior that appears discriminatory or unfair. And the repercussions becoming rather severe as of late. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. I'm happy and I celebrate all the achievements that have happened. But I also understand that, like, you know, it's always been like the system that exists is and has sort of been you know, I don't want to say rigged per se, but like it is an indication of changes that are happening in the industry that are absolutely incredible and really, really necessary for progress. However, at the same time, like, it is still an establishment that, while changes are happening, there are some fundamental shifts that are going to need to happen in order for these organizations and these establishments to continue thriving and existing in the ways, you know, in a full kind of way. That's really all I tried to say. Again, also, Yoon Yo Jung, congratulations. She is so incredible. It's so wonderful to watch an actor who, I think, you know, she has sort of this reputation of sort of being like a workhorse. Like she's been acting and actively working for such a long time, and like also like she lives in Florida. Like her kids are Asian American. Like her, I don't know. Like there's something about it that about her that I just I don't know. I grew up watching her, and sort of now seeing the rest of the world appreciate her just feels like, I don't know, like it's so deserved. So congratulations to her. I love her so much. Also, just Riz Ahmed. If you haven't seen The Sound of Metal, I haven't either, but I'm probably going to soon, next day or so. But I've also heard nothing but incredible things about it, so I'm really excited to. Minari, Steve Yeun, obviously, go see it if you haven't. Go see it. It's great. So, anyways, yeah, it's been a wild day. Yesterday was really stressful because I couldn't get a hold of my friend, and most of us who all went to school together. Because she also attended. She also went to Naropa, and she was in the performance program, and yeah. So we were all trying to get a hold of her, and no one could. So that was, oof. Yeah, that was really stressful. And then I think it's kind of one of those things where always like it does, like, I don't know, the universe sort of does this to me where like I stress out and obsess over something for like many hours of the day, like just like you know, almost like I have a worry stone and I'm just like, oh yes, I'm so you know, like again, me on Twitter trying to get as much information as I can, like me texting all of my friends in Boulder, being like, hey, are you all right? Hey, what's going on? Hey, did you have work? You know, like, and then again, trying to figure out like, who haven't I heard from? Who have I heard from? And yeah, it was just sort of a terrifying morning and afternoon. And then, you know, no one was able to get a hold of my friend, and everyone was sort of freaking out, and then I was like, all right, I've done literally nothing but freak out for the day. I need to do something. So I was like, I'm gonna start cooking dinner. And I like put my phone down and started cooking dinner, and then within an hour, like my phone just starts going off from a bunch of people being like, and you know, my friend finally got a hold of us and was like, hey, I've been busy and with the police. So yeah, it was a huge relief. But yeah, they are safe physically, so you know, that's a real fortunate thing. Yeah, I don't know how to explain, like, I think that particular intersection of like, just, I don't know, that particular that particular grocery store, like everyone kind of goes there, like townies go there, college students go there, like, I don't know, it's sort of it's a section of town that sort of is just a pretty wide swath of Boulderites are at that grocery store, and so yeah, I'm so grateful that they're okay. But yeah, yesterday it was just a really stressful afternoon, early evening. And then, you know, sort of after that, it became even more stressful because it was like, okay, well, my friend who was closest in proximity is safe, but also who are the other victims, you know? I think that was really it was also, you know, it was sort of like the immediate threat, or like the, you know, sort of the biggest, like, worst possible case scenario, like sort of the thing that, you know, that would have been the worst case scenario didn't happen. So then what, you know, what's next? Oh, then what if one of my friends who I didn't, you know, like, who didn't work there but was just shopping was a victim? Yeah, which is, you know, sort of rolls into a whole nother, I don't know, which it was, yeah, it was a lot of anxiety and just weirdness until this morning. And this morning I was up to watch the press conference and the announcing of the names. Yeah, I so one of the victims' names, one of the victims is Suzanne Fountain, and I did not personally know her, but I do know that many of my friends did, because she was a part of the theater community in Boulder and Denver. And so she was an actress who had done a few shows, yeah, in and around the Boulder and Denver area. And so, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of friends' posts about her and just sort of how lovely of a person she was, and just sort of, yeah, again, I think there's it's always, you know, just violence on a scale like this is always really hard to reckon with, but then, you know, when it is literally on your doorstep, like in my circles of people, it starts to, you know, it just takes a more serious, I don't know, just like it just sort of becomes more real, like the idea of like, you know, you know, the reality of becoming a victim of gun violence in this country because of the way that our laws are, you know, is quite high. It is actually affecting people I know. Like, it's not just like, oh, those hoodlums in the gangs in the inner cities with their gun, you know, like, no, it's affecting everyone. Like, it's like Boulder is like the most suburbiest city that you could possibly imagine. Like, it's a, you know, it's a college town, you know, people love it, it's really adorable, blah blah blah. Like, you know, it's kind of an idyllic American setting. And, you know, at the same time, Colorado really loves its guns, and people who really have no business owning guns are allowed and getting access to them so easily. Yeah, it's, ooh, yeah, it's an issue. Like, and this is the thing, like, I don't get me wrong, like, I love guns. My time in Colorado, I learned how to fire guns. I learned how to clean guns. I learned how to, you know, like, I learned how to put a gun together. Learned how to put a gun, like, take it apart, put it back together. Like, you know, my time in Colorado was really, really informative because I was also able to be doing this professionally, like, as far as doing gun wrangling work for theater shows and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, you know, because of that, having that proximity to firearms, I think you realize how easily it can be made into a tool of destruction. And because it's also a tool of empowerment, and I completely understand that. Like, I feel like I used to be really, really against guns. But again, my time in Colorado and learning how to shoot guns and learning how to take care of guns from a person who had grown up their entire life with guns, like, sort of, it was able to sort of open my eyes at the, because, like, you know, I feel like I was sort of like a city kid, like, hyper, you know, just like, no guns, no violence, like, oh yeah, like Surprise, even though I'm from Chicago. um, and I don't know, I feel like I was able to learn an appreciation for a gun, for guns, for firearms, because they are very empowering, you know. Like the one thing that I will say, like the first time I shot a gun, as a, you know, as a young man, like and it was like we were shooting milk jugs, like gallon milk jugs that were filled with water, that were propped up against the side of a mountain. And, you know, like, there's no one for like miles and miles of where we are, and it's just me and my buddy. But I don't know, it was one of those things where you feel it's so, it is empowering in a way, you know. And so I understand, and like I feel like I understand the pull, the allure, the call, the way that it feels, you know, having it on you and being able to do, you know, and I get that, but also, like, I don't know if that feeling is what we need for people to be feeling all the time, especially, like, I don't know, I think, again, the idea is that that the people that are using guns, that have access to them, understand them, are trained with them, you know, have a respect for what they are and what they do and what they can do, you know, where right now, like, you can get a gun so easily, like, so, like, laughably easily. You can get a gun, like, it doesn't matter, like, maybe, I think, really, if you have a felony, you probably can't. But even then, you might be able to, you know. Like, and that's not even a joke. Like, that's not a, like, oh, what? No, you probably can't. Like, it's so bizarre. I think that's my biggest thing. Like, by all means, like, own guns, you know, but I do think there needs to be you know, some sort of way to at least mitigate, you know, and very clearly, you know, obviously there are suggestions that have been made about common sense gun control, that have been put up all the time, but yeah, ugh, it's wild, it's so heartbreaking and unfortunate to see, you know. And it's like, what was it? I think there was someone was saying like 7 days there have been 7 instances of gun violence. It's like, just I know at the White House they had the flags at half-mast for most of last week because of the shootings in Atlanta, and then they had brought them up the morning of the shooting yesterday, and then basically within a couple of hours they were back down at half-mast. And like, the tragic comedian in me, like the sort of cosmic philosopher clown in me, can see the like hilarity of just like the absolute farcical ridiculousness of it, and then at the same time, like, it just breaks my heart. Like, it's so I don't know, it's like poetically telling about what happens in this country, especially when dealing with gun violence, that is starting to affect more and more people, like that is, you know, again, becoming commonplace in a first world democracy. Yeah, why would anyone reject mangoes? I don't um one of my, I think one of the reasons why I love Australia so much, and I think one of the reasons why like my, I think, you know, my, I have coral tinted glasses when I look back at my time in Australia. But I think part of it is because like mangoes were everywhere. Like you could just like, it was one of the first places that I lived, only places that I've lived, where like you could just walk out the door and it'd be like, oh, everyone's got a mango. There's mango. Like literally they're on the ground rotting. Like I can pick some off this tree because these people obviously don't care. Like, I don't know, like there's something about that I just find like, I don't know. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. Was I in heaven? Was I in heaven? There was this house. I actually really loved it on my walk to the house that I was living in to my workplace, to the theater. There was a house that had this giant mango tree, and it was like right on the end. It's like Red Hill, Spring Hill area in Brisbane, if anyone knows. This is like getting real random and colloquial. But there was this big mango tree like right out on the front, and they like it. There for a while there was a sign like, and it would just be like, please take them, just take them. Ugh. But yeah, oh yeah, BMAC knows because she yeah, the Brazil, the South America, y'all know when the mangoes are plentiful, and there's something about it that like, I know like there's something about the like sickly sweet, like even like rotting mango smell, like because they've been out and like it's past mango season and like it's kind of getting cold and but like even that I find like something about like walking past like that and like hitting that smell like it's sort of this like weird, I think an urban southern hemisphere synesthesia, like I don't know like what it is, but like it's that thing of like it I don't know, it like hits me in this really weird sense memory that I don't know how quite to describe, other than like yeah, it just it's this yeah, it's because it's like weird and sweaty and kind of gross, but then like sickly sweet, and then I don't know, it's also that thing of like it smells different, like it just slap different, you know, it slap a little bit different. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so mango, is this an acceptable orange? I want to try and make it, actually it's not an acceptable orange for me. So that's what we're doing right now. It's me trying to make my oh, I think this is best. How's this? Oh no. Oh. So this is the most accurate to what I have, but I'm gonna try and yeah, here, I think this is gonna be what we're gonna do. But yeah, mangoes are delicious. Thanks for redeeming your channel points, mango. Now we got yeah, it's a calypso mango. Also, do y'all know how many, first of all, y'all know how many types of mango there are? There are so many types of mangoes. Like I can only I only know a few, and even like okay, so North Americans and people, for people who live in a country where a mango is a tropical luxury item, we grow up just thinking that like, oh, a mango, they're all this is what a mango looks like, kind of the same way that, you know, you're like, oh, this is what a grape, you know, like, and then I moved to Australia, and then it was like, oh yeah, mango. You want to, like, what kind of mango? I'm sorry, what? You know, it's the fruit. And it's like, no, there are so many kinds of mango. mangoes. like, I'm trying to, like, there's, like, Alphonse mangoes, there's Calypso mangoes, there's, even, like, I feel like in Australia, like, the grocery store, there were, like, during mango, like, when it was, like, fully mangoed out, it was, like, bins of, like, just different kinds of mangoes, and then there were, like, the little small ones that kind of looked like kidneys, and then they're the ones that are so large that you're like, are you sure this is not a papaya? And they're like, no, it's a mango. Oh yeah, Philippines and Thailand. See, it's so interesting, Heather. When I think of Thailand, I think of pineapples. Strict and I know, like, Hawaii has pineapples, but for me, Thailand is my pineapple country. But I think that's slightly weird. It's for me. So when I was younger, I actually spent a good amount of time in Thailand, of all places. As a young man, I had the opportunity to go there, and spent some time on an actual pineapple farm. The spiders that frequent and enjoy pineapple farms and pineapples are horrifying. But yeah, pineapple farm. Oh man, yeah, we were talking about mangoes. Welcome. Hi, Mango Cyborg. Welcome. We were talking about mango. We're just summoning all of the mangoes. We got once all the mangoes arrive in chat, then I will eventually I'll start sending the wavelength out so that, like, physical mangoes will start appearing, and then various, like, a mango sorbet, some mango lassi, a mango fizzy water. All of these things will just start. I'll try to send a wavelength out. I hope that's the superpowers. I hope that's the superpower I get when I get the vaccine. I'm so excited. What flavor do you think you're gonna get? Like, I don't know. I've heard Johnson & Johnson's really good, but, like, that Moderna flavor.